Hi, I'm Stacy Zinn Roberts, and I'm the host of Live Your Passion. Our guest today is Marcia Kester, with a singing voice described as telling the whole story. The heat, the honey, and a bit of Delta hard scrabble. Marcia Kester, an entertainer and speaker, is said to be a woman on fire. 2003 brought about a defining moment in her life, and faced with nothing left to lose, Marsha finally gave herself permission to pursue her lifelong dream. Overcoming drug addiction, depression, economic adversity, pretty much everything that could be thrown at you, she found a way to succeed. And now she shares her story with others. She is so inspiring. There's a piece of everyone in this story. I can't wait for you to meet Marsha. Marsha, thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here today.
Thank you so much. I love your music, and you have such an inspiring story. You know, you overcame some of the toughest challenges anybody can. You had a drug addiction that you overcame. You even were homeless for a while. You lost custody of your children. My gosh, where did you get the strength now to remake your life and get to be who you are?
Well, the first thing I have to say about that is what a motivator desperation is and can be. And I know for me, losing my children, you know, when I was faced with get clean and sober or lose your children, that was a huge motivator for changing my life in that moment. And that was just over 20 years ago today.
Wow.
And so when you're faced with losing something very precious and dear, it's very easy to get motivated to do what there is. Finding the resources and being open and willing to do what it takes, those are the things that are in question, it seems, at any given time.
Right.
And what I've found about myself is that for me, the worst circumstances seem to foster that ability and willingness to push forward and become willing to take out all the stops to do what there is in front of me to do. Whether that was getting clean and sober and getting my children back many years ago, and as well through my homelessness at 10 years clean and sober, 2002 was a pivotal year for me because I never thought that would be a part of my clean and sober story.
No, nobody does.
And so the amazing thing is faced with nothing left to lose, I was in a class here locally at Skagit Valley College and being looking at what was I going to do next with my life. Uh-huh. I had done everything but the music, thinking it would provide this stable platform for my life with my children. And we still ended up homeless. And I was depressed, and all of these things came about even so in that circumstance. So when I looked at what am I going to do next, it was very daunting to say, well, this was not supposed to be my life unless I was a musician. Mm-hmm. And here it is anyway. So I was basically faced with the fear that I had proof right in front of me that I was never going to have a great life and my life would never work out, which made me very willing to say all I ever wanted to be was a singer. And in that moment, my life changed. In that moment, there became a relationship with the teacher in this classroom at the college who said, what? Like, you want to be a singer? What does that look like? And then I began examining, well, what was my dream for all of these years?
Right. This is something you always wanted to do and never had you never gave yourself permission to do it.
Right.
So you kind of had to go through all the worst out there to give yourself permission. That's incredible. What was it? What was the turning point then that said, "Okay, I'm gonna do this because that everything else was bad anyway. So why not do the best, right?"
Exactly. And a reflection of how the worst possible circumstances in my life put me in the same space with this woman who changed my life. When I said, "I want to be a singer," Margot, the teacher of this class at Skagit Valley College, said, "You want to do that? What does that look like?" And so then I had to begin looking at, well, gosh, my dream was name and lights, famous, rich, beautiful, all those things that a child in third grade realizing that this is something they want to do would have. And what I realized is that as an adult, I didn't have a clear defined what that success would look like. I just knew it was what I had always wanted to do, and I wasn't doing it.
Right. And there's a hole. When you don't act on what you're supposed to be, you walk around with a hole in your heart. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
You know that you're supposed to do this thing, and when you don't do it, that's the most painful.
Absolutely. What I would add to that too is that the surprise for me now is that not everybody has a clear vision of what they always wanted to do with their life.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when you know there's something, the things that kept me from doing it were the thoughts of, I had it that everybody else in the world was born ready and able to have the life of their dreams. And for some reason, I didn't think that was possible for me.
Yeah.
I had a lot of proof in my life that that wasn't me. I wasn't successful. I wasn't, all of these things. And so it was a hole that was there, robbed the satisfaction that now that I feel in my life.
So you knew this is who you were supposed to be. You knew it. You knew this is who you were supposed to be, and set your mind to it, and now you're playing shows. You played at the Everett Historic Theater here in Washington State, one of the most beautiful theaters in the entire state, and you did a Patsy Cline tribute show.
Yes.
You do a lot of old school country, but she writes her own music too, don't you?
One song, does that qualify?
No, don't say that. We have
So
to start
far.
again. No! There's no such thing as aspiration. Either you do or you don't.
I do. One song so far.
How do we stop her from saying that? Not one song so far. You just say yes.
Yes.
I do.
I do.
Okay, so we're going to start again.
I actually think you should keep that whole
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
It's hilarity.
Okay.
It's part of your training.
It's part. Okay, yeah.
Embrace
So,
the avocado.
all right, so we'll embrace the avocado. You either do or you don't, and you do.
I do.
You do. Your music is beautiful. Will you honor us with your song?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yay.
So I said that I went through a program at Skagit Valley College, and that was where I had my moment of giving myself permission. And after completing that, after winning the Woman of Promise Award, they asked me to write a song about my journey that was a reflection of where I had come from and where I am. So my song is called Whose Life Is It Anyhow? And so that's the song I'll play for you today. Down and out, full of questions, full of doubt, as she looks in the mirror every day, she looks for a light. She knows there's something more out there to see. Chained to the dark, will she ever be free? Whose life is it anyhow? Whose choice is it anyway? If she could only just believe, she could fly away. Has a dream, she hears a voice that whispers softly flashlight. She sees a path and knows it's there. She must start. Whose life is it anyhow? Whose choice is it anyway? If she could only just believe. Keep on track. 2 steps forward, don't look back. Rises every day, tries to find a way. Darkness fades, lets in the light. Things begin to seem very clear. True to herself, has nothing to fear. It's her life anyhow. It's her choice anyway. She must choose now to believe. Fly away. She'll fly away.
Oh, Marsha, I'm a little teary. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And you captured so much of what we talk about. You capture so much of reclaiming your life, being who you want to be. So we have danced around this issue long enough. You know that I created the What's Your Avocado empowerment concept that talks about that everybody has something in them that's special. The key is to just find out what that is and act on it. And you certainly did that. There's always a moment, the aha moment, the avocado moment, when you figure out who you're supposed to be and how you're going to do it. Can you tell me about that?
Absolutely. So I would say there are 2 avocado moments for me. The one back in 3rd grade when I knew my brother was in a band and I knew that was what I wanted to do.
Yes.
Be a musician, be a singer. And it lit me up. I dreamed about it. I fantasized about it. I played out with, what do you want to say? Just fantasized about it in my mind over and over. The most amazing thing living my life today, now after getting to the music, through everything that there was, what I'm clear about is that my avocado is to inspire other people to go for their avocado. Right?
Yeah.
The most amazing thing through all the challenges that I see about my life today, the experience of my life, because I've lived some really hard times.
Yeah.
But getting to have the joy and the sense of spirit or fulfillment that comes inside of me that I can't help it. It's there with me everywhere I go. I still have some adversity in my life today.
We all do. We all do.
But what I notice is my day-to-day experience of life is so rich, and having this avocado makes life, makes life absolutely worthwhile, and I know my experience of life is extraordinary.
Every day is good because you get to be who you're supposed to be. So you live your passion. That's the name of the show. And I'd like it if you would give some advice to other people, women especially, who have aspirations for music, that maybe they have that fear that you did too. What advice would you give for other women who want to live their passion through music? What should they do?
Begin.
Begin.
What I found was the thing that was missing all along in my life was giving myself permission to do my dream, to have my dream, but permission to fail, permission to look bad, permission to not know what I'm doing, and permission to have the support and help from other people.
Yes.
It doesn't always come from where you think. I thought when I was young, surely my family would support me and be on fire for me to have this dream. And what I found was that they had too many concerns and considerations. Mm-hmm. So certainly people in your life will encourage you to do what they think you should do, probably what's safe, or depending on who they are.
Yeah.
So really you have to somehow be willing to entertain the idea and give yourself that brief permission to get started, mm-hmm. that you can have what you want, and it will work out.
It does. Somehow it does.
Mm-hmm.
If you just get really, really clear.
Mm-hmm.
If you get really clear who you're supposed to be and take the action. People, circumstances, help shows up. The road rises to meet your feet.
Absolutely.
When you decide that you're going to do it.
Absolutely. And one tiny step, baby step as I say it is, leads to the next, to the next, to the next.
Yeah.
And I would say when I shared that music was my dream, I always wanted to be a singer. In that classroom, one of the most important things that Margot said to me was, so you begin. You take your step. You do what there is to do, and doing that will lead you to the next step. And it may be in a line, but it may not be. It may go off to the left, and you may find yourself, your path is not going to be necessarily straightforward, but your life, what you're supposed to be doing, your dream, will fall out of those steps.
Yes. We take some interesting twists and turns, but when you look back, they were all lessons that we needed to move forward, even though at the time we were like, what's going on here? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you're going to take this message on the road, too. You're doing some inspirational talks, and people can call and book you as an inspirational speaker, and you'll sing and do everything. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you so they can meet you and touch you in person and get your message?
Absolutely invite people to go to my website, which is www.marciakester.com.
Okay, and we'll put it on our website, so there's a direct link.
Uh-huh. My phone number is there, and my email is there as well through the contact page. There's all kinds of information. There are links to videos and music that people can listen to, and as well parts of my story, which is my website is ongoing reflection of changing and encouraging as my path unfolds as well.
Marsha, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
It was a great pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Stacey Zinn Roberts, and this is Live Your Passion.